Good afternoon, I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Midday News. The headlines. President HH returns home with renewed hope of recovering Zambia's economy. Dr. DENNY KALYALYA back as Central Bank Governor. Join me with the midday news in detail after this commercial.
Would you like to win some cool cash? Say no more. Stand a chance to win your share of 1 million kwacha. Simply make a transaction from your ZAMBIA'S mobile money account and you could be one of weekly winners of up to 10,000 kwacha. Be empowered with ZAMBIA'S mobile money. Dial *344# to activate your account. This promotion runs from 28th July to 31st October 2021. ZAMBIA'S, your digital lifestyle partner.
And now the media news in detail. Lusaka magistrate Felix Kauma has warned the state that he will dismiss the case in which Patriotic Front self-proclaimed national commander Innocent Kalimanshi and 3 others are accused of criminal trespass and assault if no progress is made at the next court sitting. This is in a matter in which Kalimanshi, Donald Kapamba, James Sakala and Samuel Kabalamwe, all businessmen, are alleged to have on the 1st of May 2021 entered the Patriotic Front Secretariat with intent to annoy. When the matter came before court Monday morning, the state informed Magistrate Kauma that they had difficulties in getting hold of their first state witness, Davis Miller, hence seek for an adjournment.
On Monday, the 27th of September 2021, the Lusaka's Magistrate Court said it was going to discharge Patriotic Front's self-proclaimed national commander, Innocent Kalimanshi and 3 others, in a criminal trespass and assault case if the state failed to put its house in order and bring witnesses at the next court session. In this matter, Innocent Kalimanshi, 40, of Lusaka's Salama Park area, is facing 3 counts of assault and 1 count of criminal trespass, while Donald Kapamba of Chawama, James Sakala of Matero, and Samuel of Chawama are facing 1 count of criminal trespass, which they all denied. The court was this morning scheduled to commence with trial. However, there were no witnesses before court. The prosecution team informed the court this morning that they had challenges with getting hold of their first witness, Davis Miller, the former Patriotic Front Secretary General. However, this submission made by the prosecution team prompted the magistrate presiding over the case, Felix Kauma, to send a strong warning that he will dismiss the case if no progress is made in the case at the next hearing. In this matter, the 4 allegedly stormed the Patriotic Front Secretariat during the welcoming event of former National Democratic Congress leader Chishimba Kambuli to the Patriotic Front on the 1st of May 2021. Allegations in the first count allege that the 4 accused persons, jointly and whilst acting together on the said date, entered the Patriotic Front Secretariat with intent to annoy. Meanwhile, in the second and third count, Kalimanshi is on the said date accused of assaulting Teresa Sampa and Helen Mwaza, thereby causing them actual bodily harm. Trial is expected to commence on the 13th of October 2021. Miriam Kaimba reporting for Camnet TV News.
Losing Patriotic Front Kanyama candidate Elizabeth Piri has told the Lusaka High Court that some voters in Kanyama compound voted under stress to an extent that people that went mind of voting for the Patriotic Front ended up voting for the opposition because of the chantings caused by the UPND members in polling stations. This is in a case in which Ms. Piri is challenging the election of UPND Kanyama area member of parliament Monty Chinkuli, citing violence, vote buying and bribery among others. Ms. Piri wants the court to nullify the elections of Mr. Chinkuli. In a testimony before court, Ms. Piri further alleged that violence by the UPND members in Kanyama during elections made her lose the election.
The Lusaka High Court on Monday commenced hearing the petition in which losing Kanyama Patriotic Front candidate Elizabeth Piri is challenging the election of Monty Chinkuli of the UPND. Ms. Piri has petitioned the election of Mr. Chinkuli, alleging electoral malpractices, bribery, violence, vote buying, among others. In her testimony before court, she said the elections were not free and fair. even after the campaigns were suspended by the Electoral Commission of Zambia twice because of violence, hence the need to nullify the elections of Mr. Chikuli. Ms. Phiri, a former Minister of Gender, testified that violence was allegedly caused by the UPND in Kanyama during campaigns, and 2 members of the Patriotic Front were killed. She further testified that the said experience instilled fear in some of the would-be voters that they did not vote. Others voted under stress, to an extent that those who came with a mind of voting for the Patriotic Front because of the chanting by UPND members in some polling stations, they ended up voting the opposite. In her conclusion, she states that if the elections are not nullified, it will set an example that one has to be violent to win an election, and by doing so, shall be killing democracy. Meanwhile, Mr. Chikuli wants the court to dismiss the petition with cost because it was filed into court after 14 days in which it should have been filed as required by the law. Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
President Hakainde Higa has with immediate effect appointed Dr. DENNY as Bank of Zambia governor in line with Article 214 of the Constitution of Zambia. Dr. Kalyalya served as Bank of Zambia governor under the Patriotic Front administration from 2015 to 2020 and was replaced by Dr. Patrick Mvunga, who recently resigned. President Higa has also appointed Dimas Mulilo Kabesha as Attorney General, while Mr. Marshall Mubambe has been appointed as Solicitor in line with the Republican Constitution, Article 177 and 179. Meanwhile, all these appointments are subject to ratification by the National Assembly. This is according to a statement issued to Camnet TV by President Hakainde's Special Assistant Attorney Bwalia. President Hakainde Higa says Zambia is headed for great economic recovery as different stakeholders from the international community have expressed interest in working with the new Dawn government. Speaking to journalists upon arrival from the United Nations General Assembly at Kenneth Kaunda International Airport Monday, the head of state says bilateral and multilateral talks with international heads of the just-ended Yunga in New York show that the new government has gained the trust of different stakeholders. He adds that until there is economic recovery, solving problems such as youth mass unemployment will remain a challenge.
Expectations from Zambian citizens are high after Republican President Hakainde Hichilema's visit to the United States of America, where he was attending the United Nations General Assembly UNGA and also engaging in bilateral and multilateral talks with different stakeholders from the international community. The head of state left the country on 19 September 2021 for New York and returned Monday via Kenneth Kaunda International Airport aboard Fly Emirates. He was received by different stakeholders from the ruling party as well as political party youth leaders. Addressing the media at the airport, the head of state has remained hopeful that the just-ended talks with international leaders in New York will result in economic revival.
It's more than the IMF. We shouldn't reduce it to the IMF. It is representing the broader interest of the people of Zambia. Right. And I believe we did that effectively. And Zambians are yet to see the benefits, and they will see those benefits very soon. The key is that we must reconstruct the economy. And unless we reconstruct the economy, we cannot create jobs. Right. We cannot support health, we cannot support education. So economic reconstruction is number one, and we set this agenda. We will not waver around it. We will stay focused. We know that's where the benefits are.
President Hichilema adds that while the country is in desperate need of resources which could boost certain areas of the economy, his government will not meddle in the affairs of investigative wings but allow them to conduct their work in a professional manner.
Very clear that we will be civil about it, we will be legal about it, we will not use the political hammer. We will allow the institutions, oversight institutions, who are mandated legally to deal with corruption. They will deal with corruption. We expect them to do it professionally. The Zambians want them to do what they're paid for to do. We will give them the political will, and they will get that will. Make no mistake about it. All right.
He has further called on citizens to exercise patience with the new government, adding that the fulfillment of many of the election promises is dependent on the state of the economy. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
In other news, workers at Mukuyu Ventures constructing the Mabeshi maximum prison Monday 27 September 2021 downed tools demanding better condition of service. The protesting workers claim that they have been given contracts since the year 2016 when the project commenced, despite many attempts to compel management to do so. The workers want the government, through the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, to intervene in the matter, saying the company is perpetuating casualization. The aggrieved workers say among the reasons they voted for the United Party for National Development was to ensure that they put in place a government that will safeguard the plight of workers in the country. And when reached for a comment, Mukuyu Ventures Human Resource Manager Robert Muluwa told Camnet News that they had a meeting with the workers and measures are being put in place to address their plights.
The story of casualization has been an issue for a long time in the country, despite commitments by the government to address it. In order to curb casualization, the government amended the Employment Act in 2015. However, many workers are still victims of casualization in the country. And just recently, this journalist spoke to the Zambia Congress of Trade Unions ZCTU General Secretary Cosmas Mukuka, who said casualization must not be allowed to thrive under the United Party for National Development administration.
The question of casualization is you have jobs of permanent nature, but people are hiding into termination of contracts, which are also resulting into casualization. If your contract ends in 2 years, when if you have finished the 2 years and your record is very good, we should renew the contract.
However, this trend seems to be far from over. These are workers at Mukuyu Ventures constructing Mabeshi maximum prison, and on Monday 27th August 2021, they downed tools demanding better conditions of service.
We are chanting forward because we voted out the past regime, the government which was not supporting us. They were against us, but we have voted for the UPND regime in order for change. We need change.
So if it's tunga police kuseleza drama ni simono so tufuna at least knife masofu ya batu yangana ko inkani ya chani ya drama vitu ametuma yangana vitu ni family maniki pa sites
ise pano pakamba ni mutona ise magadi tuseleza na forte kwacha ero ndise tusunga katundu kakamba but muntu so abantu fama kutuyangana.
They say they expect things to improve under the new government.
Nishinchi takukutantia andi na panopa murembo na neure danda ura never supervisor bombera forte kwacha pede iyo forte kwacha yo mbombera ngamwa penda mwe government muri 26 nde kwata 1000 forte kwacha 1000 kwacha tapari fya ile mbombera ndesta mo felimbi container ya sarati mwe butepe tuafurisheni batate twali mi vote na bayechechi turalekesha nipo fwa bana benu pali no company Mukuyu Ventures Mabeshi chimboka ila construction tuafurisheni ninzi shibapa noponderanda maira bakantamcha tito pamlandi wakulanda pafishinga
fo muntu kawukisainisha bamwe batshupa batatu no government tuafweni watu kutalipa turabomba no ivindu vyonzo ya kupera pama live days ama holidays turati independence yonse turabomba no tego besu tuafweni.
Later in the day, management engaged the workers and Camnet TV was informed of the outcomes. Among them is that they have been given contracts, although they seem not to be convinced. Human Resource Manager Robert Muluwa told Camnet News that measures are being put in place to address the plight of the workers. Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
United Party for National Development former campaign team member DENNY, among others, have petitioned the police compelling them to institute investigations against the Patriotic Front administration on matters relating to political violence leading to the death of some people and mismanagement of national resources. Speaking at Lusaka Central Police Station Monday, Mr. Ajumbwa has pleaded with the police to look into the request of the Zambian citizens so that the culprits can be brought to book.
Zambia in the recent years has witnessed increasing brutal crackdown on human rights, characterized by brazen attacks on any form of dissent. The crackdown also led to an escalation of the excessive use of force by the police, which has been fatal in some cases. Meanwhile, among the number of promises by the United Party for National Development is to facilitate justice for the victim of such vices. Speaking to the media Monday, a mother to the late Sydney Monga, 17, allegedly shot dead by a police officer, narrates her story and demands for justice for her son.
Ene kosi ya mneni nga kwani se through na beni ya mneni pitamu ndai nabamba kudawa tatowa namba kudwala bachwana 2011 nima kulisa maveji no shoka medicine parodi kutuja mwana afike grade 12 then tabe trained police officer kwendo nipaira mwana mami chima ni baba and sinima funa kuonana kapokola sometimes umenso mwanga ndani mamvera mutima natikaza ngati nezo wana nipa tabe line panipa na bana baka tuaso kuona nisiyiri.
Meanwhile, UPND former campaign team member Vene Hachombwa and police investigations against Patriotic Front administration on these matters.
But we are wondering up to now, we are almost 2 months in office and we've not seen any varied report from all these deaths. I think from here, if this letter will not give us any results, like we said, we shall make sure that we petition the office of the Minister of Home Affairs, Honorable Jack Member. If the minister won't give us results by 30th October, we will petition the office of the president, because the president and ourselves, as we are campaigning, we promised all these people. We promised this man. This man lost his child. His son went to campaign in Kanyama during the Sesheke by-election, and his son was shot. And up to now, the police have not issued any statement.
Not only that, they also demand for investigation in matters such as the expired medicines.
And up to now, the police have not issued any statement. It is now 2 years, 3 years. So all these things that happened under the PF regime, we've not forgotten also to touch a very important issue of the 48 houses. This is the matter that is in the public domain, and there is no question about it. And it's not a secret. We want to know who owns those 48 houses. We want to know where Faith Musonda got the money. Because if the police issued a statement to say they will remain mute, we as the people of Zambia will not remain mute. We as UPND will not remain mute. If the police will not act professionally.
It is the hope of the affected that the police should consider the petition and ensure justice to prevail. Alex Chimba, Camnet News, Lusaka.
That news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Media News, but before we go, the headlines once again. President HH returns home with renewed hope of recovering Zambia's economy. Dr. DENNY KALYALYA back as Central Bank Governor. Thank you for joining me. I am Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Remember to always wear your mask, avoid crowded places, wash your hands for at least 20 seconds or use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Stay safe and good afternoon.